John, would you consider yourself a Christian?
Yep.
When did you become saved?
When I was 4.
Okay. And since you were young up until now, have you noticed this growing thing where God is being censored from America?
I notice it in the news.
Tonight, our focus is on every American's right to freedom of expression and freedom of religion. It's the Christians who are under siege by government officials and anti-religion groups who think Christmas and Christianity have no business in the public arena.
If I don't watch TV, if I just go about my normal week, when I go to church, it's godly atmosphere of worship. Once I walk outside the church doors, I notice the world is vastly different. It's not like that. People don't care about worship, don't care about God. Even the Christians, no one talks about him outside of church.
Mm-hmm.
But in everyday life, if someone brings up God, for the most part, some of the people I encounter, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you believe in God? That's cool. All right, yeah." No, they won't disrespect or anything, whether they believe it or not.
Yeah.
Unless the person who's talking about God starts to get, I guess, annoying. Then
preachy.
Yeah. Then they'll say something. But I feel like that's normal, though, because, I think Christians have forgotten one of the basic truths about Christianity, about God, Jesus. It's that if they hated the master, they're going to hate you. So even if they don't hate you, Christianity, we could have a population size. It could be a majority, but at the end of the day, people who aren't Christians, it is going to rub them the wrong way. And I think for one, that when America started, it was 13 colonies with a really small population. Like, I Googled it before this, and I think if Google's right, it said that the population was like 2.4 million for 13 colonies, which I also Googled Houston, Texas right now, or in 2014 I should say, their population was 2 million. So
wow.
13 colonies, no, they weren't much bigger than what Houston is now. And they were spread out. So back then, being Christian, large numbers, that was possible, like to shape a nation based off one set of ideas, religion.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, we have people from all around the world living here, different ideologies, different philosophies, different religions. Like, it's going to get muddled and diluted.
So, yeah, it's essentially being diluted. Do you think this is dividing us?
It definitely is dividing us, because people already have this innate sense of, like, who am I? Where do I come from? What do I do? Mm-hmm. And essentially it's like they're walking into a supermarket and they have so many different things on the shelf to choose from. And there is one right way, which I'll say is Christianity, but because there's so many other things saying, no, this is the right way, and people who caught into whatever religion they want, they're going to be defensive of it. As such, it's their religion. Anyone's going to be defensive of that, even us when people attack it. So, yeah, it definitely does cause divisions in this country.
So you'd say that Christianity is pretty much synonymous with vegetables. They're good for you, but they're necessarily not good.
It's hard to be a Christian, honestly, and like people in other countries, I'll say Africa, because that's a very popular one. They starve there. They have a lot of diseases there.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough being a person there, and I know in America we don't necessarily, we do have people who are starving on the streets and whatnot, but we as a whole do not deal with it as rough as they do. Mm-hmm. So a lot of things we deal with are literally just mental, spiritual things.
Yeah.
Christianity, it's a vegetable. It's a hard thing to eat, but it's good for you. It's really good for you.
In the future, when you have kids, how are you going to raise them in this new era where there's a need to be politically correct, there's a need to censor yourself, there's a need to censor God?
I'm going to first do my best to teach them that God is real. That, in a way, is something they have to find on their own, because I think one thing that is a reason for the decline in Christianity is that some parents do teach their kids God is real, but the kids never actually learn that on their own, and so they live their whole life thinking they're Christian, going to church, tithing, Christian camps, learning the Bible, but they do it just because that's what their parents taught them to do.
I heard about the recent things happening with the national anthem, people not standing for it, and not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, not pledging allegiance to the flag.
My dad and my mom brought up like what it meant to like us and our people and what happened, you know, the history. So I just started sitting down.
How do you feel that's affecting kids today?
I think it's letting them get the idea that it's okay to stand for anything. People want to attach themselves to things greater than them. That's a very simple thing. Everyone knows that. It's nothing deeper theologically, amazing like that. Just people want to.
Yeah.
Some people don't feel great or impressive about themselves, and they seek causes to rally behind. Some people seek weed, getting legalized. Some people seek abortion. Some people seek God being put back into America. Some people seek tree hugging. It's somewhat based on the area they grow up in, but whenever kids see people refusing to stand for the flag or Pledge of Allegiance, it just shows them. It shows them one, that if there's a cause out there, it's someone else is doing it. Then if someone else is doing it, then I can do it, which is not a good ideology to have.
Sorry, why'd you start that fire?
Because I felt like it, and because I'm just saying, screw our president.
Okay.
How do you feel that could be fixed? Do you think that there's a one fix all, or one way to solve this, or anything like that?
If every Christian in the country were to just get up and leave America and go to some other new island that just emerged in the Atlantic, and they start a new country there, that's how you could solve it.
I hear Hawaii is pretty nice this time of year. Yeah.
I hear it's extremely cold.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
No, just because, America's so huge, so populated with people from different countries and whatnot. It's never going to ever be back in a position where it's, everything we do is for God, and we gotta give Him credit. It's too late for that. And that's just how the world is. The world is sinful. Nothing stays good. Nothing stays pure. With sin comes decay, and decay happens with time. So as time goes on, America it'll get worse and worse and worse.
What would you say to Christians like yourself that are struggling to kind of find their place in this new centered version of America?
Be strong willed for God. Paul, when he was going around preaching the gospel and stuff, he went to jail a lot for it. We're because of the laws we have, it's almost impossible for us to go to jail for evangelizing. But I'll tell them this: if it ever gets to that situation, Paul did that. And I know some people might say, render to Caesar what Caesar's, meaning if this person's ahead of you, this person's in charge of you, you should obey and listen to them. And there's that sense of giving respect to them and listening to them because they're in charge. But at the end of the day, ultimately, if you're a Christian, Jesus overpowers whoever's in charge. So if it comes down to that, if you have to go to jail,
good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. All right. Well, thank you, John, for coming in. This has been Terrence Fry with ABC News talking about taking God out of America. Back to you.